It's time, y'all. The cartoon mainly famous for that one lesbian dance. Hi, I will be guiding you through the Owl House because I am the Owl Man. Annie, Hoodiekin.
Hoodiekin.
That's my last name now, Hoodiekin.
Well, little bug demons. I guess I'm Minty.
And this is FunUntitled. We serve every podcast with an FU.
So for some reason, Annie wants to go over the first 2 seasons of The Owl House. And I believe by the time we post this episode, the other episodes of season 3 will not be out yet. Only episode 1 of season 3. So there's gonna be spoilers because we're just gonna talk about vibes.
Just complete vibes. First, we'll talk about the vibe of season 1 and 2, and maybe 3, because I don't know how much you have to say. And then we'll talk about how we feel about the characters. So yeah, if we talk shit about your fave, you should have gotten better faves. Okay, first off, what's your favorite coven?
I've always been into the animal one, but I don't think they gave the animal one much attention.
Yeah, they only gave it to that one girl who was way too excited. I would have loved the Oracle track. You get a little stand like JoJo who tells your future.
Is that what it does?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't think I've ever seen any oracle tell any futures.
The dog who wanted to multi-track was an oracle, and I think he did tarot readings to tell the future. Like, you're gonna get fucked up.
Where's the JoJo stand?
That's still Dahlia's one. You can't have both.
Why can't I have both? What's the point?
Because unless you're the Oracle Coven head that I don't think we really got to see that well, you shut up. Oh, there will be swearing, so if you're like a child who watches the Owl House, you can leave. But I don't think children actually like the Owl House. It's scary sometimes.
There's a certain genre of horror children's show that exists, and they're usually the better ones.
Yeah.
Personally.
Alright, what do you think about season 1 The Owl House? For those who don't remember, Luz Noquera, whatever how you say her name, Luz. She's a half black, half Hispanic girl who doesn't fit in with her peers. She's too weird and eccentric. She might have ADHD. And when I say might, that just means it's not officially stated. And then her mom is like, oh, maybe you should go to summer camp to be normal. And she's like, fuck that, I'm gonna enter a door and enter the Boiling Isles, a land full of witches. And what's this? I'm meeting the Owl Lady, Aloha Clawthorne, who can for some reason go to the human world and the Boiling Isles. And we will talk about that later because I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, but it seems like a giant plot hole in many things. So the Owl Lady, she's a wild magic witch and she's like hated by all the covens because they're like, you can only join one coven and do one type of magic. And she's like, fuck now, I'm doing all 8.
God, I don't even remember Ida doing any magic. It's been so long.
Yeah, not really. And also, I think there might be more than 8 covens. I just like the number 8. So then it's just the adventures of Luz learning how to do magic even though she doesn't have a witch bladder, and her meeting her friends and falling in love with the mean girl at school. What?
I mean, she wasn't your typical, like, plastics, right?
Yeah, she was definitely the overachiever kind of stereotype.
Sure, stuck up, couldn't relax, didn't like the people who broke the rules and kind of did whatever they wanted.
And if you wasn't doing a slice of life at school, you had to look at Ida, who had to deal with her sister Lilith Clawthorne, who was like, I'm gonna force this bitch to join a coven. Fucking watch me.
All in the disguise of wanting to protect Ida, though.
Yes, it is. My only problem, I like Lilith. I wish she was the villain for season 2. I wish we still had this morally gray villain. I think we forgave Lilith way too fast for ruining Ida's life.
I don't know if that's necessary for her to have a redemption arc. Because I think, like, for one, she only ruined one person's life, and 2, Ida was gonna live this type of lifestyle, with or without the curse. I think the curse made things a little harder, but I think, you know, she was never gonna join a coven, and she just, I mean, okay, it ruined her relationship with Rain.
Yeah.
For sure. But that was something she still chose to do. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't ruin her life in a way that was unhelpable, uncurable, you know?
Yeah, I guess so, because the curse really just turned her into that giant bird, but if she just got, like, help, right?
Right, like, because we're not talking about, like, Zuko, who was, like, somewhat of a captain of an army for the Fire Nation that was oppressing tons and tons of people and trying to chase down the Avatar. Like, he needed a redemption arc to, like, not just to kind of make up for what he's done, but also to save himself.
Yeah, I guess. And so many people, and this is season 2 spoilers, but whatever. They say Hunter is like the next Zuko, and I'm like, fuck no. Hunter's a weak character.
Hunter never did anything wrong.
Ah.
You know what I mean? Like, Zuko did things that were wrong. Like, Endeavor did things that were wrong.
Yeah.
So he needs a redemption arc. But Hunter is basically listening to Bellows, and, you know, he's not I guess spoilers though. I mean, we already said the spoilers.
Yeah.
He's not a human. He was created to do this. So he doesn't need a redemption arc to redeem any wrong.
I guess, like, I wish there was, maybe it's too much asking for a kid's show. I wish there was more morally gray characters.
Hold on.
Yo.
It's hard to say that's too hard for a children's show when Avatar has done it.
You know what? Fair enough. Because, like, I feel like we had Lilith, who I thought was a great gray character, then she just went all the way good. You had Hunter, who's like, you know, he's a little bit bad, but he's all the way good. And then you have Kikimora, who's just all the way bad.
Right.
And then Bellows is batshit crazy. Like, his whole thing is literally just genocide.
I like Bellows as a villain, but I do think there are some weird principles in our house that clash against each other.
Like what?
So let's talk about in season 1, Luz didn't want to go to summer school and be organized.
Yes.
She didn't want to go through the norm. But she wanted to go to witch school and learn the norm there and not just continue doing the Ida thing of learning wild magic and being free to do what you want.
Yeah, especially because she can't learn anything in that school.
Exactly.
Like, cause the way she gets magic, cause she looks at glyphs in nature, right?
Right.
And then she combines it. But unless she learned how to combine it at school, there's no point.
Which she didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't even get a talisman there. So to me, I felt like those are like, I really didn't like season 1 of Our House. I know it's an introductory arc, but I think good introductory arcs can get you excited for it. I mean, maybe it was good. A lot of people seem to like it. I just didn't care for it. I didn't care for Liz as a character. The only character I really like was Amity, because I kind of like those strict characters who need to learn to relax a little. I usually like it once a girl, once a guy. I don't really care for them.
Do you think that Luz and Amity falling in love was a smooth transition?
I think it was an okay transition.
I feel the same way. It was okay them falling in love. I think they're a cute couple now. I just like, it was getting there.
Because they only kind of fell in love because they had a common interest, right?
Yeah.
The Azura books. And they were the only 2 people reading this book. And maybe I don't remember, but I just don't remember many moments besides the book. I mean, I know Amity wanted to ask Luz to dance, but I don't remember why, besides having the common interest.
Cause she horny. No, I think like they bonded in the snow episode. It wasn't very memorable. That's another thing, like when Amity had that little staff wand Harry Potter thing. God, there's too many Harry Potter references. To help her do magic, and it's like, how come no one else has a wand? Like everyone else just has a talisman? Is that their wand?
No idea.
Because it's weird that Amity's parents doesn't have a talisman unless that rat that looked like Alistair was his talisman. That's something they had to explain too, the whole witch system, because like Willow's considered half a witch, and like why?
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, and the stupid what's that Harry Potter sport with the Quidditch? With the golden.
Oh, I'm gonna know.
Well, yeah, in that episode, she's like, oh, we're always just gonna be a half a witch Willow. And that's kind of the reason why, like, her and Hunter really bonded, because they're both half witches.
Hold on. People ship Willow and Hunter, and I don't see it at all.
I just accept it, you know?
He has had as much interaction with Gus as he had with Willow. So I'm like, what is the appeal?
He was a boy, she was a girl.
Like, I'm okay with the Luz and Amity. I'm okay with the Ida and Rain. I'm kind of okay with Amity's dad and the head coven for the
Alistair and
abomination.
Darius.
Oh, that's the name just saying. But I don't get Willow and Hunter at all.
What about Lilith and me? You didn't even talk about that. Lilith and Hootie, because I'm Hootiekins.
Gross.
You're gross. I don't see why you can't ship Lilith and Hootie, because Hootie's a demon, and demon's not a lesser being in this world.
Who else is a demon? Kikimora?
Kikimora's a demon.
Dog Boy?
I think Dog Boy is like King is a demon.
Is he?
Oh wait, I think the ending of that episode was that he wasn't.
He's a Titan.
There's some demon students I know. There's a girl who looks like a little croissant. She's like a moon. You don't know her.
There's that girl who's just a nose. She a demon?
I know she's to create a self-insert. That's why I was really tongue-in-cheek in that one episode where she was like, you're the author of Azura? Like, yeah, technically she is. So that's season 1. And then season 2...
Well, it was a whole mix of everything.
But season 2 vibes, King Bellows is the main focus now. And it's kind of like them, I don't know, fudding around with Bellows trying to stop the Day of Unity.
Yeah, and trying to figure out what King is.
Yeah. And then Ida becoming a heartbeat.
And losing at magic.
And Luz, like, going all the way with Amity, if you know what I mean. Girlfriend status.
I will say the story of Ida accepting the curse was a great storyline.
Yes.
Our House doesn't have many great storylines, but I thought that one was done very well. I like the acceptance. I like the just making the best out of a bad situation. And actually, in the end, it's probably gonna help you more than anything else. But she has great control of that power now.
Yeah, and I feel like it doesn't erase the fact that, like, it ruined her life, you know? Like you said, it strained her relationship with Wayne. Like, she had a really fucked up relationship with her dad. On her fault.
Yeah, because the dad clearly is like, how come you don't call me?
You don't call me anymore. What you doing, girl?
And in one sense, it was the thing that helped heal her relationship with her sister.
Yeah.
Because even before the curse, they had a discourse where Lilith was jealous of Ida being so naturally talented. Which I don't know if she was naturally talented or just naturally intrigued in magic in a way that made her seem special.
That could be both.
Could be both. But so the curse really helped in another sense if you accept things, right? It's all about perspective.
Oh, I forgot. This was a major plot point. So in episode 1, Bellows wanted the door from Luz. And Luz was like, alright, you want to get to the human world? I'm going to destroy this door. So season 2 was them trying to find a way back. And they were like, okay, we need Titan's blood if we really want to get back to home. But it's like, you're telling me Bellows was on this island for like how many years and he didn't find a fucking door that Ida tripped over?
That's the thing. Like by the end of like the second season, it was kind of like the importance of a door. And it was like, but Ida has been doing this for years, collecting human trash from the human world.
And like no one thought to ask Ida. Because she wasn't hiding the fact she had human goods.
Right, that was the thing, right? She was illegally selling human stuff.
Yes.
And I just think for Bellows to be on the island for so long, to find a random door cannot be that hard, especially when he's been there for so long.
I also think it's stupid that Bellows was on this island. He's like, alright, I have the Titan blood to get home. Did he use all those witches' magic to open the door? Because like, why did he have to do the Day of Unity then go to the human world?
You know, now that you mentioned that, I don't know.
Because clearly you don't need that much magic because Ida just needed the key with the Titan blood.
Right.
And to be fair, we don't even know how... Do we know? Oh yeah, we know how Luz got to the Boiling Isles because she followed our palisman who was stealing human trash.
Yeah.
God damn, Bellows, you're a terrible villain in the sense that you're not competent. Like, he's scary, don't get me wrong.
I wish the witch hunter timeline or storyline was better explained, because there was an episode where Luz is in the museum and that guy tried to hunt her down for being a witch, and I didn't realize like that was supposed to be connected with Bellows and he was like an actual original witch hunter during like the Salem witch trial time. And you know, like there's a connection, and I was just like, I didn't get to like the very end. I was like, oh, I feel like this should have been like a much cooler reveal.
Speaking of reveals, what do you think of the collector coming at the end randomly?
I don't know, it's that cliche plot that there's always a bigger villain.
I feel like you could have just ended the series without the collector.
I do think so too. I don't know, it's maybe because clearly the creator is not ending the show on her own terms.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was like her way of being able to continue the story, because basically he's not stuck there because of the collector. He's using the collector to go back home.
Yes.
So it just feels a little disjointed.
Like, a lot of the plot, I feel like you watch the Owl House for the vibes, because a lot of the plot things, if you think about it too hard, you're like,
And it has somewhat of good world building, but it never expands beyond showing it.
I wish the supporting characters were a little more useful. I'm looking at Willow and Gus. I hate side characters who's there just to like bring the humanity out of the main character.
For sure. I especially think Gus is a very useless character, because the illusion powers are okay, but I don't feel like it's been used to the maximum.
I honestly, yeah, you could do this series without Gus. There's items that to replace Gus.
Absolutely.
And his solo episode is like whatever.
He had one solo episode.
Well, technically two. The one where he went to that illusion place with his friend and like all those bullies was following them.
Oh boy.
I don't know why Willow never got a solo episode. I guess it's technically the one where like Amity tried to burn her memories with Willow.
That was an interesting episode. I actually kind of like that one too.
But I feel like it was more of an Amity episode.
I could see it as both.
What do you think about Amity and Willow trying to fix the relationship? I feel like it's being done very clunkily.
I do think so too. I think it's like done well, but it's like not smooth. Like we don't see enough of their healing, and we don't see them bond. There was like one time where Amity was depressed because Luz was gone, and she went to Willow, right?
Yeah.
And it was like I like didn't remember they were childhood friends until then. I was like, oh right, because you guys have never talked to each other otherwise.
That's the problem with the Owl House. There's a lot of times like these characters are friends. Why? Fucking just believe us. We don't have time to show you everything. We're being cancelled for being too gay.
Right? Like you just need like not even a whole episode, just moments in the show that shows like, oh yeah, they're two like he's in a pod.
I guess they had that Sailor Moon moment where they fought in sync.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just think that it needs more of it.
Alright, speed round. I'm gonna say a character, you tell me what you think of them.
Okay.
Alright, main character, Luz.
I went from disliking her to she's okay, because I think at first she was just weird and quirky and just doing whatever she wanted to do, but I didn't feel like it had direction. And as the main character, I needed something from from her. But I didn't like when she was obsessed with the rat. That was
Yeah.
too long. The pacing of the show is a little whack.
Alright, Ida.
I love Ida. Ida is a really good character. She's funny. She plays by her own rules. She explains like why she's different and why she likes it and what's wrong with the system. But she's not necessarily trying to change the system either. She just wants to live her own life.
King.
King's annoying, but he's also the voiced by Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls.
Booty.
I flip-flop between liking and hating him.
Alright, we're moving on. I do not want you to elaborate. I want to keep our relationship stable. How dare you?
I think he's funny, and that's why you like him. And he's like has a lot of power. I just feel like there's a little bit of a consistency problem. I feel like some characters who are so powerful, and then when they get defeated, it's like, why did you get defeated? You're all powerful.
Alright, Amity.
I like Amity. Amity is my favorite character.
Willow.
Willow's okay. I wish I saw more of her strong side.
Okay, we're going to skip Gus. We already talked about it. Hunter.
Hunter's okay. I'm not really into the characters that need to find themselves because they've been living a lie for their entire lives. I just feel like that's incredibly, what's the word? Unrelatable?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. There's this thing about Hunter where, like, Hunter fans are, like, crazy. And almost all the Hunter fans I've seen are people who project onto Hunter. As I feel like he's just that mode you have if you want someone who's, like, has trauma.
Sure.
Because we didn't even talk about the shit he went through in season 3. Like, all these Hunter kiddies are like, that went too far. How dare you make his abuser possess him in season 3? Leave him alone. And I'm like, the only reason why he's plot relevant is because he's suffering. If he wasn't suffering, you wouldn't see him. That's just my 2 cents. Controversial.
I have a question. I kind of been thinking about this just now as you were talking. Remember when they went into Bellows' mind?
Yeah.
Bellows was the kid.
Yeah.
The Palisman was the wood monster.
Yes.
Later on, Bellows has a demon form.
Yeah.
Why did it look like the Palisman wood demon form?
I think, actually, Bellows' past is complicated because his brother Caleb was a witch hunter with him. Then he fell in love with a witch named Evelyn.
Did they fall in love?
Yes.
I thought he tricked her.
No.
Or she tricked him.
That's what Philip says.
Okay.
But no, they just fell in love.
How do we know they fell in love?
If you look at the paintings and then later on the non-binary person tells the tale of the two.
Oh.
And then like, if you remember there's that joke where they say the whole story and then at the end, if you ask me, little bro got upset because older bro found love, but whatever.
Oh. Okay,
So
gotcha.
when Philip/Bellows killed Caleb, Evelyn put a curse on Philip Bellows. That's why he needs wild magic to sustain himself.
Bellows is that last name?
That's his alias when he got chased out of too many towns.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
So he turns into that demon form. So I'm guessing maybe that's just the form wild magic takes. You know, like,
So Evelyn is a wild magic witch.
yeah.
And that's why he can't stand wild magic witches.
I think so. I think the reason why he can't stand wild magic witches is just because he needs everyone in the coven for the Day of Unity.
Oh, okay. Wait, but okay, there's a weird time thing, right?
Yes.
Because you would assume that before Lewis went back in time, the Day of Unity didn't exist?
No, it's the you see, we know that what happened in the past is always continuing because King Bellows has a broken nose, and then later on you find out Lilith was the one that gave him the broken nose when she punched him.
Oh,
So
okay.
so everything in the past has to have happened, you know?
I see. It's that kind of timeline.
Yes.
Got it. The 3 theories of timeline. We're not going into it.
So yeah, I think we're going back where I left off. We just finished Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Alright, Lilith.
I like Lilith. I almost, in a sense, like her in between the villain of season 1 and the good guy of season 2, where she was trying to figure herself out. I think that was my favorite part of Lilith, because she was basically having a career change. You know? And she basically went back home. I think Lilith should have been there the whole time, though. Like, it didn't make sense for her to go back home.
And they didn't write her out.
Yeah, well, I mean, doesn't play much. I like the episode, actually, of her part when Luz did go back in town, or back in time, because it kind of, like, revealed, like, a little more of what she's done and, like, the consequences, or, like, you know, like, the new knowledge she has from that.
Yeah. Alright, Rain. Rain whispers.
I didn't care for Rain until we saw the flashback episode with Ida. Because then it's like, okay, Rain's an interesting character, and he's not getting mind controlled, and he's very powerful. Because I know Annie likes Bard magic, because Bard's her favorite class.
You introduced
in
a
D&D.
non-binary bard. It was super cute and has funky hair color. I'm smitten.
Blue hair color.
It is like a weird minty teal.
With glasses, and is in love with Ida. Blue glasses, love.
I love Rain, and they have a cool name. I will not apologize.
You're the Rain lady.
Alright, the Blight family. Alistair, Odalia, Eldrick, and whatever the girl's name is. I like the girl too.
I don't don't care for the twins. I don't, like, I always was confused of the relationship. Like, I never knew if they were the siblings who were harsh on Amity. It just seems like they really like to fuck around with her, which is fine, but they also don't really play a role in anything.
I wish it fully, like, explain, like, why Adalia is super hard on Amity but not the twins. Because, like, the fan theory is that Adalia gave up on the twins, which is sad because no mother should give up on a child, but God knows the show doesn't talk about that.
I think the dad is cool because I think he cares about his kids a lot. I don't really like mom characters in general. That's a personal trauma.
You know, I think the too many shows these days, well, these two couples aren't getting along, they get a divorce, or, you know, whatever they had, a contract breach in our house, and they just wipe it off being like, we were never in love, this was an arrangement. Like, show me the messy divorce, you know, where, like, we were in love, now we just are irreparable. Like, Rain and Ida kind of had that, but, you know, they're getting back together, we know they are. Because it happened in Hell of a Boss 2. There was a owl man and an owl lady. They were married, and then they're like, this was an arranged marriage. I can't stand you. Get the fuck out my house. And it's like, okay, I guess we're going the easy way out of this divorce.
I want to see a canon show the opposite of that. The arranged marriage that goes well.
I feel like that's a lot of shoujo manga, though.
No, I'm sure it is. That's a very staple of, like, fan fictions, right? I don't read fan fictions. I don't read indie stuff. I want to see a mainstream do it. Because sometimes it's a cute idea.
Sometimes it's the lazy way out, where, like, God just put the chips on the table and it lands perfectly well. It's kind of...
I mean, I think it's not just, like, compatibility. I think, like, two people have to come to the perspective of, like, sometimes there are too many choices in the world and you just like it to be limited.
Controversial. Anyway, it's like soulmates, basically, I think.
Yeah, soulmates finding each other in the weirdest ways.
Alright, moving on. We're almost done with all the characters. For this last blanket statement, because we already talked about Bellows, so something to talk about Kikimura. Any coven heads you want to talk about?
No. Well, I like Snapdragon. She was incredibly powerful. I like people with plant magic.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Andy likes the bard, Minty likes the plant. I want you guys to act shocked, bitch.
She was a villain. She's sassy. She clearly is like one of the bigger heads of the coven people. And, you know, she was like the leader of Heck.
The shit this show gets away with.
I mean, it's the censored version of Hell for some godly reason.
So that was the odds. Would you recommend this show to other people?
Yes. I would recommend they binge it all in one go so that they can get rid of season 1 out.
A question is Otis time. Do you fault the pacing of the Owl House being horrendous near the end because it was getting cancelled for having too many LGBT themes?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, so...
That was production's fault.
So we should judge it like it's fast.
Yeah, I think no matter what outside of the story, you just have to judge it on what you see.
I think Steven Universe also got cancelled for doing the Ruby Sapphire wedding.
That show is gonna have the My Little Pony syndrome of there's gonna be crazy fans forever.
Well, until then, does the Owl House have any cool ways of saying goodbye?
They die in the Unity raid.
A good witch always brings her hat. Bye.